Something really exciting showed up in the mail yesterday. New Biturbox to replace the old fuse box, courtesy of Auto Italia and Lenny. Thanks, Lenny. So here it is. Got blade fuses instead of the I don't know what you call these things. They just have these little ribbons of metal. And you can see the higher amperage fuses just have a thicker strip of metal there. And then, yeah, the lower amperage ones, it just gets really thin in the middle so that it overheats and opens the circuit sooner. And anyway, you can see it's just all corroded and disgusting. And so this is going to be a huge upgrade. This is the side of the fuse box that faces into the engine compartment, and you can see there's just nothing left of some of those pins, and the connectors all need to be cleaned up, and some of the female terminals are going to need to be replaced. I got the screws pulled out from the corners, and this is what the original unit looks like. What do you call that? Printer ribbon cable, sort of like circuit board setup. Just absolute garbage. Okay, I got it separated all the way, and the relays are no bueno either. So I'm gonna get new relays. Yeah, I'm only gonna need 3 though, because there's one relay place here, relay socket there, and then they did away with one of the relays by just adding some diodes. Come on, focus. There we go. Anyway, I'm gonna get these pieces of plastic cleaned up. I don't want any of that corrosion crap on there as I'm putting my $900 printed circuit board fuse box together. Got the 2 plastic halves of the fuse box cleaned up. Just soapy water and a wire brush, get some of the corrosion off of there. I put all new fastener studs in for holding it to the firewall. Cleaned up the rubber seal there. Pulled this rubber seal out, got some silicone spray on it, cleaned it up. For these bolts, I just heated them up, and with a pair of pliers, gently grabbed on this end and pulled them down and into that a little bit, and they all seem pretty secure. So I think that's going to be a good lasting repair there. As I'm going back together here, I decided I definitely did not want to use the rusty old screws, so I went and I picked up some stainless steel screws that look like they'll be a good fit. That way they can never rust again, and this will be something that I'll just know. You won't be able to see, but I'll know that it's got shiny stainless steel fasteners in there now. So I was trying to put the screws into these 4 holes here, and there's nothing for them to grab onto on the other side. They're just pocketed out like that, and the new fuse box doesn't have any standoffs for the screws to fasten into. like the old one did. So would have been there and there and there. And I don't like having empty holes, so I'm going to use a little bit of right stuff just to fill those in so that it doesn't look like, oh, he forgot to put the screws in. There we go. There were actually 5 holes. I almost forgot the one in the middle, but those are all filled in with right stuff now. The screws are in, and the fuse box is back together. I've got the fuse tray cover installed, and I just need the relays. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'll just put some tape over that as a reminder to self that this doesn't need a relay there anymore. It's been replaced by those diodes with the new fuse box. So I ordered some new relays for these 3 spots, and as soon as they show up, then I think we'll be putting this guy in. One more thing I wanted to mention was this is the factory fuse that was installed, where I believe that's for the window motor. It's got a little picture of a window going up and down there, but it says either 25 or 15, and it came with a 25 and a 15 amp fuse. So I decided to just email Lenny and ask him, is this a 15 or a 25? Just based on how thick the metal is there, I'm guessing it's probably a 25, but we'll see what Lenny says. And then I don't want to put in a 25 amp fuse when it's actually a 15 amp circuit, and then you've got way too much fuse for the circuit, and that's not good for wiring or the motors themselves if they start running at higher than 15 amps. So we'll wait to see what he says. For those of you that have watched this far, thanks for sticking around. I do have something kind of exciting to share with all of you. I've recently decided that I'm going to drive this car 300 miles from where I live in Idaho all the way to the Seattle area to attend the Exotics at Redmond Town Center Italian Car Day event. And if I'm really lucky, I'll actually make it there. It's the worst car of 1984, and I'm trying to drive it 300 miles. It's 40 years old, and it's going to have a new fuse box and stuff, which that's going to be good, and new brakes, and I've rebuilt the carburetor. It's got a new timing belt. It's going to be a challenge. I'll be lucky if it doesn't catch on fire on the way over to this Italian car day, and then I'm going to be surrounded by Ferraris, Lamborghinis, newer Maseratis, cars that don't look like I'm polishing a turd here. The 300-mile trip is sort of the last test of making sure that it has been brought back up to roadworthiness and even road trip worthiness. One sort of funny way that I'm thinking of generating a bit more cash to continue fixing this thing is driving for DoorDash, because I don't think DoorDash cares how old or how crummy the car that you're delivering food in is. I think it would be hilarious to deliver people's Panda Express in the worst car of 1984, and it's going to make a shit ton of noise going up and down the road at first too, because the exhaust is just cut off right about where the catalytic converters used to start. So one of the things I need the money for is the exhaust system. I am planning to do 2.5-inch exhaust system from the turbos all the way out the back through some high flow mufflers. Anyway, thanks for listening to me talk about my plans and goals and dreams for this car. And if you liked this, hit the like button. And I am trying to work my way up to 500 subscribers. If I get 500 subscribers, I've heard that I can monetize this account, and then I think you guys have to watch advertisements before watching these videos anyways. I just don't get paid for them yet, and any extra money that I make can go right into this hole in the road behind me. Alright, thanks guys, see you next time.